Hello and welcome. My name is Matjaž, and this is going to be my first contribution to the channel Yaroverse. For the few years now, I've been pretty interested in trading, especially in crypto investing, and lately also macroeconomics. So tonight, let's check what's going on with the markets, what's been happening in the last few days. It's been pretty wild. But before we go there, I want all of us to remember our brothers and sisters on the East. All the people in Turkey, it's been devastating, these past events. And of course, also all the people in the world that are maybe not so fortunate as we are now. And hope that it's going to be better, because only together we can make it better. Okay, so investing.com today, it says that it's been the worst week since June. Let's see what's happening on the market. So that is the S&P 500. Okay, this is the monthly outlook. As we can see, since top until the local bottom, which has been in October 2022, we've been actually going down for more than half a year. We've lost roughly 27%. Yeah, 27% in that time. And then there has been a channel forming. But we went out of this channel, and on a monthly picture with a pretty good conviction, on a weekly picture, on a weekly time frame also. So you can see it's been a few times that we've tried, yeah. So okay, that was the top. Then first try to get out, it was a trend line. We got denied, we went lower. Another try, we went to the top trend line, which is the top of the channel. We got denied, we went back down. Meanwhile, two things happened. We touched the weekly 200 EMA once, and second time. On the second time, we got lucky that in 1, 2, 3 weeks, we went out of it. So the market found enough power to get out of this under EMA 200, because this is very important region. Basically, anything that is under the EMA 200, we are talking about the bigger time frames, yeah. So daily or weekly, it's considered bearish. Everything that is over, it's bullish. Okay, so on the third try, we also got denied, went down for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then the market pushed again. So that was happening at the end of the year. It started to go up. In January, first week, we got a nice candle, and even nicer one on the second week of January, and then we pushed out of the channel. Okay, so now for a few weeks, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, we've been hovering above. But now we've got a retest. Okay, it might be just a retest, which is good. Technically speaking, we need a retest. Usually it's there. We can get a successful retest and go on, or it can dip lower. It can also dip lower for a few days, even a week or two maybe. But what's been happening today and this last week, it's been really disturbing to the market. Really bad information every day. We've got banks going bankrupt. So okay, so there is that guy, yeah, Michael Burry. He's an amazing guy, a good trader that really came to notice after the crash in 2008. Why? Because he was betting against the whole market. everybody was bullish. All the banks were bullish. The housing market was skyrocketing. And he was noticing the patterns in the markets, some imperfections. And he went and he dig up a lot of crazy, nasty shit. You can check this. It's a very good movie, Big Short. You can check it out. It really sums the situation. So that's the movie, and it's actually based on the events happening on in that time. So that guy tweeted a few days ago, "It is possible today we found our Enron." What's Enron? You can check Enron 2001. It was a big scandal because that was a big giant company, energy company. So they had good revenues, and it was at that time where also everything was booming. From the late 90s until 2000, the markets were booming, especially in the US. Excuse me. And what they did, they had a very creative accounting, and they did some nasty shit. At the end, they went bankrupt, and it was the biggest bankruptcy. Let's check the numbers. It was the biggest bankruptcy in US until then. 63 billion in assets, and that was one of the black swans of that time, of the tech bubble, because that tech bubble collapsed. So that's when you can see prices of like Amazon really dropping. We can check it just for the taste. Okay, so we can see Amazon today. Today everybody knows it. At that time, I wonder how many people in Slovenia heard of it, since we barely had a telephone in our house, and they were doing the online selling business, starting with books, which is pretty amazing. So you can see Amazon stock topped in 1999, then dipped a little, and then topped again on December 1999. And then from December, so these were the highest moments of the tech companies in the tech bubble, and you can hear the people that were doing business in Silicon Valley at that time. They were saying, if you are doing business in 1997, 1998, you could literally go to any venture capitalist firm, almost show up just with a plan, with a business plan, and they would give you $1 million. It was so much money, so much profits being made at that time. But of course, that doesn't last. Winter comes, especially in trading. Amazon stock plummeted. So from the top to bottom, 93, 95%. And here we can ask ourselves, when we really believe in some stock, would I hold it if I bought it, let's say, at $2 and I didn't sell it at 4, and then it went to 40 cents. So I'm at the quarter of my investments. If I invested $10,000, then I only have $2,500 for how long? Wow, 640 days. So that was roughly 2 years. We were at a loss with our investments. But smart money investors in that time, what do? You dollar cost average. That means that you are buying the stock. The lower it goes, you buy more, if you can, of course, because with that you get a better entry, you get a better average cost of your investment. So when you feel like, in some years, hopefully, when you feel like your investment has matured until some point, you're satisfied with the earnings, you go and sell it. Let's say in 2008, you could sell it for $4 again. And you made, I don't know, 3, 4, 5x, depends on how much dollar cost average buying were you doing at that time. If you sold, then we got a problem. Okay, so that's just for the taste what was happening in 2001, because the tech bubble bursted. It wasn't really a widespread recession going on, as they say, but in the tech world, it really hurt. A lot of people said that the companies that survived that time are now one of the best companies that are out there, because they needed to do really amazing things to survive. And after that, it was, of course, easier because they had a product to show. Because what was happening here? Let's just go back a little. These are the times, 97, 98. This is the start of the internet. People were hooking up to the internet, and imagine businesses being made on the internet as an infrastructure. Of course, more or less, it's still in the infant phase, you know, not really pilot. You can do some business, but it's not like now. You can just, you know, start a web page, hook your drop shipping if you're into drop shipping or whichever app. Everything is here. Infrastructure has been set and tested. So Enron went bankrupt, and this was the biggest bankruptcy for US at the time. And that year, many companies went bankrupt, and the big tech bubble bursted. The Silvergate Bank. It's been a few days now that's been known that Silvergate is not going to be solvent. Actually, it's going to go bankrupt, and it's one of the biggest crypto-oriented banks, which means that they really help to deliver funds on or off crypto. Then after that, it was Silicon Valley Bank that had some bad information on 9th of March. Yeah. So that's been happening on 9th of March. And Michael, of course, he's following the market. He's a big investor still. Rumors emerged that the Silicon Valley Bank faces interest rate risk on 91 billion in bonds. And they went to start selling it. Of course, they're gonna sell it for loss. They need to cover this loss somehow. So they announced they're gonna sell some shares so they can take care of the loss, so they can cover their depositors or their clients. In that day, you've got many people, many venture capitalists running out of the bank with tens of millions of dollars, just because the fear was starting to spread. On this day, you can check the price of the stock. On this day, it was already really ugly. Here you can see the price of stock was still trading on 8th of March at around $260. As soon as that was starting to happen, of course, people were pulling out their money. So in that day, the stock plummeted 60%, and the trading stopped. So today, before market even opened, you can see another 65% drop. I read somewhere it was around $35 that it was trading, and then the regulators actually stopped the trading of a few bank stocks. Here we can see them. So it was the First Republic, Signature Bank, other regional bank. It was halted the trading because the sell-off already started. So now we have to question ourselves, is there already a bank run going on? Is it going to be a spillover effect, which means that if that happened in US, are there going to be some investors already worried in other areas, other regions? A lot depends on Monday, because now it's Friday, the markets are closed. We haven't seen any tweets, any information from the Fed, from the regulators. How are they gonna salvage this? How are they gonna try to repair this? But hopefully they find some solution, because this company, Silicon Valley Bank, they had so nearly half of the American venture-based backed technology and life science companies were backed by them. 44% of those that were making the IPOs. So we've got this large bank in Silicon Valley that was a go-to bank when you have a good startup, good idea, maybe a working product. You need an investment, you need venture capitalist, you need first round, you need round A, B, C. That was the go-to point. But what now? So the last news about this bank is that they were actually selling the bank. They are trying to sell it. So hopefully something shows up over weekend. Either the Fed saves it, or some regulatory organ, or some investor shows up, because it might be just the first big stop on the road, the first big car accident on this road, and hopefully we can avoid it. Then another interesting thing connected to this bank, it's actually the part of the investment that the fund from Sweden has, not just ordinary fund, but actually pension fund called Alecta. So they had a 605 million worth of investment with the Silicon Valley Bank. They say it's not so bad, as the holding represents less than 1% of their assets and shouldn't impact solvency metrics. Okay, so that is just investment with them. Then they also state that Alecta, so the same pension fund in Sweden, has a position as the sixth biggest owner in Signature Bank. Signature Bank is also a bank that is partly dealing with crypto. They are more of a traditional bank. They've had quite some crypto connected companies and organizations, but at the end of the last year they said that they're gonna scale down on the crypto investment. So they shouldn't be so much ispostavljeni, searching for the English word. I'm gonna write it in the subtitles. So yeah, we've got a pension fund here investing in some other asset, which is not traditional asset. They are investing in bank, which is dealing primarily with the crypto and high tech or high risk investment, because startups, venture capitalists, this is very high risk oriented investment. Yeah, they can bring high yields, but if you just see the statistics, 9 out of 10 startups fail in the first few years or so. It's a big gamble from a pension fund, and it's not the only one. There are quite a few pension funds that have been investing in other banks or other investments that are not traditionally oriented. Okay, so S&P 500. Next week is gonna be crucial. Monday probably we're gonna hear a lot in the news, because it was too quiet. So it's been really promising. Why? Because we got other markets which are really strong. So these markets have been performing way better than S&P, even months prior. We can check NIFTY, for example. NIFTY is the index for the biggest Indian companies. We are near the top. Top was in 2021, and now we are just 5% lower, and it's holding really good. And here we can see that we've got some resistance on this side, but this is on the weekly time frame, so we need to give it some time. All that is a good liquidity zone for buying, and if that holds, it's a good sign of continuation for at least a few months. We don't need to plummet down. Okay, let's see what the news are going to be next week, and how the markets react to them. Apple is holding pretty strong. Apple is, if the markets give and the narrative switches bullish, this can go over 180, or at least hold that level, which is really good, since Apple is a giant. Apple is a giant, and we don't want giants to fall. What about Bitcoin? Let's check Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, from the top to bottom, it's been 75% decrease, which is a good decrease. Good decrease in a sense that we can then expect to give a better price, to go higher, or at least give us a good bounce. Because after a good bounce, after a very strong dip, we usually get a good bounce, at least on some levels. And if you guys followed the market in winter, you could see that it's been accumulating for quite some time. I've been lucky, and I've bought something in December. Here something, somewhere here 20th, I think. So at the end of December, so pretty much of the tail of it. I caught the last few weeks, and then it went up really nicely. So like 50% just on the Bitcoin. If you bought altcoins, even better. More or less, they've done a few X's, 2x on quite a few alts. APTOS was crazy. There was a craze going on with APTOS. Let's check it. So APTOS, it's a new project. They launched it somewhere in autumn of 2022, And I saw him when it came to the exchange. I followed it. I saw $3-4, and I totally forgot about it. And then from $3, it went to $20 in what, 20 days. So 400-500%. So you can see that with a good alt, you can still get a very good gain, even though that Bitcoin will only give you only 50%. It's a lot, but will only give you a few 10, 20, 30%. With a good alt, you can get more. Okay, so here we can see that with APTOS, if the market holds, of course, we've got a nice falling wedge. So this is showing that buyers might be prepared to jump in again, either again or new buyers, because we've had one main line over here. Of course, this is the main support resistance flip that you want to get over. And yeah, for now, of course, it went through with conviction, and it went down from the top. If we check that percentage wise, excuse me, I don't have the mouse at the moment, so the mouse pad, it's kind of tricky sometimes. Okay, so it actually lost 50%. So 50% from the top, or if we check the Fibonacci is these levels, yeah. On Fibonacci's, we can see that it just touched the 618. And this is usually in a bull market a very good option to jump back in, either in a bull market or in a very good structure alt. So this alt, we can see it had a lot of power. The buying pressure was high. The community grew a lot. But now, of course, we have to wait what the Big Daddy Bitcoin is gonna say. If the Bitcoin holds, even APTOS can show some more strength, and we can get some profits there maybe. Okay, what's the Bitcoin doing now? So bottom was here at 19,500 ish somewhere, and it went to the top of the Ichimoku cloud. As you can see, this red thing here, so this is the Ichimoku cloud, but on the red side. And what does it mean? Exactly as it looks like. Not so good. When it's a red cloud, it means that there is a pressure, a selling pressure on top, and we can see very turbulent moves happening here. So if you are buying at these levels, just be prepared that you're probably going to see price a little lower, not up here, but at least out of the cloud, or maybe for a good retest here. You can see these two lines, yeah, the blue line and the red line. The blue line is called Tenkan, and the red line it's called Kijun. So when these two move as they are moving now, so Kijun, the red one, under the blue line, it goes into a bullish projection. And what it likes to do, the price of whichever asset, it likes to retest these lines or these levels. So I would bet that this level here is going to be tested. Also from the perspective of support and resistance, because before it was resistance. Yeah, so here Bitcoin dipped, we went up, it got denied, Bitcoin went back down, back down, back down, wanted to go back up again, and here, only here, we went through with the conviction. And usually Bitcoin likes to retest these support and resistance areas. Yeah, so this area here somewhere will most likely be revisited, retested. So if you are buying maybe here, wouldn't be a bad way to put your buy order. So but okay, this is really low time frame. Yeah. 2 hours is looking pretty good. 4 hours. So I was watching that level. This is the Kijun on 4 hour. But it seems like there's a lot of power. Of course, it's been quite a dip, and people are eager to get back in to get some percentages. Yeah. From a few days ago, we lost what, 10% on Bitcoin. Yeah, 10%, but still we are in the region. Let's define this region. So this is a daily chart, yeah, and you can see a structure with a low here, around here, and with a top here. Yeah. Excuse me, that is the bottom one. So this is our structure at the moment, our region, and now we gotta see what is actually, where is he heading? Where do we want to position ourselves if we want to trade, if we want to swing trade, or if we want to buy? If we are buying for the longer periods, now it's a good price to start buying again. And you just buy, if price goes lower, you buy here, and maybe it goes like that. You buy here again, and maybe it looks beyond that, below that line, you buy more, and that's dollar cost averaging. Yeah. What we want to see is, can we do something with the price right now? At the moment, price is just 0.05. Yeah, at the moment, price is hovering just around the middle of the whole range. So here it's tricky, because it might be that it's gonna go lower, and now it's just tricking us into going higher. So it might go, high until here, because we got all those highs and these highs from before. So it goes up high and maybe do something like this, and then down, or it will go here and down and then up. So that's why we gotta define on the lower time frames what's actually happening. So for me, it looks a good entry where the Bitcoin was before. So in the intraday level. Hello everybody. Yesterday something happened and I couldn't reconnect back, so I'm continuing with the video now. So yeah, let's go on from where we stopped. So we were mentioning about the retesting, or how usually the assets try to retest the previous price or previous resistance. Why is that? Because we have people on both sides of the candle. Yeah, so if we take a look at the candle, let's say this big one, for example, we got people that were trying to push the price up. We have people that were trying to keep the price down. But in this case, the buyers, so the pushers, they actually managed to get the price up and to stay, sorry, and to keep the price on that level for some time. Then when we are retesting, so that's still from yesterday, when we circled the possible area of retesting. Yeah, so price came here, so that's the level that it got tested. Again, the sellers from the top, we can see on these three candles, and this is an actual pattern. It's called three black crows. It means when we have three consecutive candles like that, they're strong candles positioned on the downward trend, so on the trend that goes down with the price. It usually tells us that the price is going to continue to go lower, even though the next candle was so not that big, but it wanted to go up. It only went for merely 0.6%. It went up and then continued, so the price continued to go down as those three candles showed us, and the price continued to decline to the support level. And that's very important level actually when we are taking into the account the yesterday and the price action from day before. Because what happened, the Bitcoin came down here and here and here, and all this region, so all this region, it's one price point, or in this case, one support. Apparently, for now, a good support, as we can see, because this candle over here, this candle bounced nicely. So the price in that hour of trading, why 1 hour of trading? Because we are looking at the 1 hour chart here. So every candle represents 1 hour of trading. So in this hourly candle, we can see the price being pushed up. So there were buyers in that area prepared to buy and prepared to defend the price. So more people or more volume was done with buying Bitcoin at this price than it was with the selling. That's why we can see the price as it is now. So we could see this price going possibly higher. The volume, it's nothing special at the moment, but it's not surprising that it's not too high, because we have to take into account that what's happened in the last 48 hours has been really bad for the stock markets, yeah, and of course for the crypto markets, and people don't have they are not prepared to invest that much. They're not willing to risk yet because they are unsure what the market is going to bring. So most of them stay on the sidelines, apart from the traders and maybe higher risk takers. So possibly if this price goes higher here, I would say it goes at least to here, maybe down again, and then high until the EMA 200. So this is EMA 200 on the 4-hour chart, and that's our EMA 200. And this is the one that we were mentioning yesterday that kinda shows the current situation of the trend for any any given asset. In this case, it's Bitcoin. So if we are below the trend EMA 200 or below the line EMA 200, it's gonna be bearish. If we are gonna go above, it's gonna be bullish. So when the price, or if the price goes above this level, then probably retests and goes up. Here we're gonna see a lot of buyers, and here also the volume will appear. Possibly also here, because we will need some volume to push these prices. But generally here are not many resistances. Okay, we got Kijun. This is gonna be retested, but it's weekend, so the stock market is down. The Bitcoin is trading, so people want to get some money, they want to get some profits, and from a dip like this, many people are betting for a good bounce. So I would say we will see Bitcoin trading higher today on Saturday and tomorrow on Sunday. If we speculate a little, let's see where it could be. Yeah, 21,600. That would be the price of, yeah, 21,500, 600. That would be my target point for now. Okay, so we covered a little bit of Bitcoin. We can also check what's going on with the total market cap of the crypto markets. So we got to check on the higher time frame to get the sense of what's actually happening in the structure. We can see that on the top. So when Bitcoin was at $69,000, the total market valuation of all the cryptocurrencies, so that was here, it was roughly $2.8 trillion. Today, we are at 900 billion. So that's below $1 trillion. So that's less than, or a good third of what it was on the top. Just by taking this into the perspective, we can say, okay, we are at third of the price. Maybe a good time to start buying back in if we want to see ourselves staying with Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency in the following years. So today at the crypto market, it's $900 billion. We can also do a fast Fibonacci check just to get a sense where we are with the Fibonacci. Aha, okay, and here is something very interesting. So that line is 0.786. This is usually a very good area to buy any asset, let's say, that is of course good performing, that they are building something, whether it's a stock or a crypto project. It has to have a healthy company behind, or at least promises. Yeah, bigger. 0.786 is a very good area to enter a trade. And if we now see the total crypto cap on the bottom, so when Bitcoin was around 15,500, it actually hit the bottom of 786, and since then it went up for 20% until today's prices and 45% on the local top, which was a few days or weeks ago, the price that we were checking Bitcoin at around 25,000 something. And just looking at this, technically speaking, we can see the whole market going higher if the sentiment is okay in the following days. So that depends a lot on how they're going to handle the Silicon Valley bank situation. If they are going to save it, if some buyer steps in, because they know it's one of the biggest venture capital based investment banks in US. It represents roughly 50% of all the venture capital based startups. So what does it mean? There's thousands, tens of thousands of people behind it that are waiting for their salaries, that are working on the projects. There can be many companies operating for many years now, but they are backed with the venture capital. And that's what this bank was focused at. So that was one of their main strategies of doing businesses. People in charge, they know they have to salvage it. So if they're gonna solve it, and in the following days we can see some better picture in the stock market, then probably the Bitcoin and the whole crypto situation is gonna be better as well. It's a good, it looks as a good structure, or it can be a good structure. Of course, we can go lower from here. We can go back into the retesting the lows, which after a rally like that, which has been going on for 50, 60 days, so after a rally like that, of course, we can see, some mingling here and then down, or we can even go higher and stay here and then go lower. Everything is possible. But technically, if the market conditions are good or better as they are today, we can see some better price action and the whole crypto market going higher. So that would be, from the crypto perspective, more or less everything for now. We had to cover the stock situation with the banks going underwater, because it's been really scary. And today some new news came out regarding some other companies involved with the Silicon Valley Bank. So I'm gonna try to get the next video together as soon as possible and cover that. But for now, thank you for staying with me. If you got any questions or anything, please let me know, write, comment, and yeah, stay good, be good, and all the best.